Jameis Winston got himself in some trouble over the last week, yelling a certain phrase with a profanity in it.
Two profanities.
On a table in the campus center at Florida State. Apparently some other students were saying it as well. Winston just wanted to be one of the guys, but he's not one of the guys. And he was suspended for their game against Clemson last week. Luckily, the Seminoles pulled it off. Do you think this is the last we've seen from him, Tommy, or do you think he'll do something else to get himself in trouble?
Here's the thing. Unless I'm mistaken, he just stood up and said this. He didn't direct it towards anyone. It was just him saying it, basically quoting the meme from the internet, correct?
Correct. Supposedly other people were shouting it around him, and he got up on a table and shouted it as well.
He was just the loudest. So, if that is enough for him to get a suspension, if that is enough, if any other student does that, literally they're not even punished. They're not. There's no punishment for that. That's not. I mean, that's just not even anything. So, if that's enough to get him suspended for a full game, there's no way in hell he's not going to get himself in trouble again, because that is, to me, the biggest nothing thing I've ever heard. He's basically, it's essentially like quoting a movie out loud and getting suspended.
Yeah, but Tommy,
I don't care.
Keep in mind, this is a guy who was accused of rape. He is still dealing with the civil court case for the rape allegations. To say something that is demeaning towards a female, no matter if it's an internet joke, is an idiotic thing to do in a public setting while you are in one of the most important stretches of your season. In any time during your season, or any time at all, for a guy on that level of fame, who's just won a Heisman Trophy, is the most recognizable guy, definitely on that entire campus. I think the bigger issue here is if he'll do something like that, whether or not he should have been in trouble for it, it shows there's not much going on inside that guy's head. And not only do I think something else might arise this year, but it's got to be a red flag for NFL scouts and teams who are considering him as a top draft pick in this coming draft. On top of that, I don't know if you heard this, Tommy, but Winston's equipment was still in his locker before the game, and he got dressed and cruised out there and was warming up in his full uniform, and Jimbo Fisher, the Seminoles coach, had to tell him to get back in the locker room and take his stuff off.
I don't see a problem with that either.
So you think that's a good idea on his part? You know you're suspended for the game. Let's just get dressed up anyway.
Yeah, he's suspended. He shows up. He sees his stuff in his locker. What's he supposed to assume? Maybe he thinks, okay, maybe the coach just wants me to wear my stuff and I stand on the sideline with my stuff on.
You don't think maybe if you're him, you don't think maybe the good thing to do would be ask coach first.
Why is he supposed to assume anything else? I mean, what? He maybe came to the game thinking, okay, I'm going to show up, whatever. My stuff's not going to be there, and it's sitting there in his locker. I think it's the equipment manager's fault. It shouldn't have even been in there. I really don't think he knew. And I hate defending the guy, but I mean, if you really look at what he did, I mean, quoting an internet joke and you get suspended for a game? Are we serious?
Tommy, if he doesn't have that prior rape charge, he's not getting suspended for a game. Do you really think that? But you're defending a guy who had a rape charge who then said that.
You think that phrase is really that vulgar? Does it imply?
But Tommy, it's not the phrase, but it's the context of what he's been charged with, and then saying like something like that when you are in that public type of setting. That is the issue. It's not. On top of that, we're talking about a guy who stole crab legs from a grocery store.
Yeah, that was stupid. That was a dumb move right there. But I mean, does that
at least we all you to admit that one?
No, I admit that, but I mean, does that saying imply like rape? I don't think so.
No, it doesn't at all. It's a joke, but it's just the idea that someone who's already
is that phrase that degrading towards women?
I mean, I definitely say it's not something positive. I don't think. I mean, I guess each person has to make a determination of how they feel. I don't think it's an offensive phrase, but it's more the idea that he's already had to deal with this much stuff. Why would you stand on a table in the student center and yell something?
Because
like that?
everyone else was doing it. There was no punishment for anyone else. No.
Tommy's going with everyone else is doing it. Excuse.
Oh, come on, give me a break. There was no punishment for anyone else. He sees other people doing it. People are laughing. What's the big deal? So
you know
he did
what,
it
Tommy?
louder?
That's probably how he got himself into the rape charge.
Oh
he
my
saw everyone
gosh,
else
don't
around
even
and
do that. No, that's a ridiculous thing to say. Don't even put that on me. Don't put that on me like that.
I'm putting it on you,
No.
Tommy. I'm dressing it up on you and tying a little bow on your neck.
Don't force that. Don't force that on top of me.
You're wearing a little bow tie,
ridiculous.
smiling, talking about Jameis Winston now. Now suddenly it's about, I saw everyone else doing it. I thought maybe I'd bring her into my room.
That is ridiculous. I can't believe you.
That's on you, bud. That's on you, Tommy Morris. That's on you, Mr. Nurse.
I do not. No. Let me ask you this. There's a food fight in the cafeteria. Jameis takes his whatever the hell he's eating and throws it at someone. What's the punishment?
Well, he probably shouldn't do it at all because next thing you know, the media is going to be saying Jameis Winston starts a food fight in the cafeteria. Jameis Winston pioneers a food fight, leads to $5,000 worth of damage in Florida State cafeteria.
Okay, but is that really... Do you see my point? Do you see what I'm getting at?
Tom,
why should he be punished? Why should he be punished any more
like
differently
right
than
now.
another?
He should keep himself out of any potential situation where he could be blamed.
I don't agree. I mean, I agree that he should not be putting himself...
He has to wear that burden now because of his past actions. I'm not saying it's fair.
To be honest with you,
it's reality.
To be honest with you, if I was sitting there at lunch and I heard him do that or saw him do that, there is no way in hell it would cross my mind, wow, that was so wrong. This guy should not be playing next week. What a maniac. That was crazy. Oh my gosh. So bad of him. There's none of that would cross my mind. I'd probably giggle and laugh and say, that's funny. He's one of the students. Whatever. There is no way that I would ever take it as anything more than that. As a bystander.
You have the first pick.
No way.
You have the first pick in the NFL draft this coming year. You need a quarterback. Are you taking him?
If I'm not taking him because of character issues, I can guarantee you it's not because of that. I can guarantee you that. If I don't take him, it's because he stole crab legs and has the charge against him. It has nothing to do with him standing on a lunch table and yelling a joke. I have zero issue with that. Here's my thing if I'm an NFL coach or an NFL GM. Is what this guy's doing so malicious that when he gets in the league, he's not going to be able to play? Because they always say availability is your best asset. Okay? So is what he's doing so egregious and so bad that he's going to find himself in jail or suspended? If standing on a table on a college campus and yelling a joke,
you're missing a bigger point. I'm not.
I'm not missing a bigger point.
It's not what he said. I don't think what he said is a big deal at all. I don't have a problem with it. But it's the fact that in his mind, he wouldn't think before he did that, hey, I'm a huge public figure. All eyes are on me. We've got a really big game coming up against Clemson. Although this is just funny, I probably shouldn't go screen this because there's always people watching me at all times. I probably should learn from the past. And although this would be funny, just save it and not do that right now.
No, because to be honest, if I was him, it would never cross my mind that would be so offensive that I had to sit out a game. There's no way.
But that's the problem. I think that he doesn't realize those type of actions he needs to be accountable for because he's such a big public figure right now.
But he didn't. Okay. I mean, I don't even know how this even became an issue. Did some student tweet it out? I mean, how do they even know?
Somehow the media got wind of it.
And then it becomes a media thing. Yes, it's terrible. And I understand. Yes, the media, blah, blah, blah. And you should know. You should know better. And oh my gosh. Hey, Trevor, you see that Jameis Winston cut in line at the student pavilion, student union? Probably should sit him out for 2 games. That was so rude of him. Hey, Trevor, did you see that Jameis Winston didn't hold a door open for that one kid behind him? Can you believe that?
Like the analogies
Can you believe that?
Your analogies
No, it's not.
They're
It's doing something that it's slightly off. It is slightly off, and it is not anything that is an offense. He would not. There would be no consequence for him doing that. Oh, hey, Trevor, did you see that Jameis Winston turned his paper in late? Did you see that? He should probably know better because all eyes are on him. He should probably be suspended for the rest of the year. Turn in a paper.
It's completely different.
It is not completely different.
It's completely different.
No, it's not. I would argue that turning a paper in late requires a bigger punishment than yelling an obscenity at the student lunch place. If you ask me. Because that affects his grades.
I'm done arguing with this here. It's going nowhere. We see differently on this topic. My point is just that I think he's an idiot. And there's more to come because he doesn't think things through.
I think there's more to come.
He might be a smart guy on the field. He might be a smart guy in the classroom. But street smarts, he's not there.
I think there's more to come, not because he's an idiot or because he's reckless or whatever you want to call it, There's more to come because literally anything he does will not be scrutinized forever. Hey, Trevor, did you hear that Jameis Winston sharpened his pencil mid a test and totally affected the whole class's grades?
Tommy, is that a rape joke?
No. How could that even be conceived as being one? Word choice there. Poor word choice, Tommy.
You said something about him sharpening his pencil.
And then I also said the word conceived. I'm very clever.
All right, that's enough, Tommy.
Okay.